Joe Kulas here once again for K Tactical. This is a video review on the Elzetta mount. It's for the under the barrel flashlight mount on AR-15 rifles. Now, did a review on this I think 2 years back, but wasn't really the best. It's more of just kind of a installation and whatnot. But it's a very neat, interesting mount. Again, made for AR-15, M16, M4 platform. Now, a couple nice things about it and a couple drawbacks about it. Well, as you can see, it has a 5-hole type mounting style. It's pretty simple, but now the thing that makes it unique is that it's not really built off a rail, that attaches to the handguard, anything like that, or a barrel clamp. And if you've ever messed with those, whether it's like one of these M203 clamps or if it's just a regular barrel. Actually, I got one of those right over here. I'm going to kind of show just for comparison. Awkward enough, but sorry to have that ready for the video here, guys. It's one of these though, and it mounts to the barrel, and I'll have a flashlight. You can see how the bottom one's slightly bigger. These suck ass. That is like the flat truth of it. They don't really hold that well. They move around, very unreliable. Anyways, back to the Elzetta mount. The thing is, it'll go from 0.7, I believe, to 1.1, or at least 1-inch flashlights. Has adapters for the smaller ones, but your standard, G2 fits fine. So installation, again, you have your 5 screws, 2, 2, 1. Now, the thing about that is they used to have a thumb screw. They called it the Z screw, and more or less what that allowed it to was have a quick detach where just it's like a knob, and you just turned it, which if you check my earlier review, you'll see that. And I think they had some problems with it because I've bought a couple of these lately and not one has had it. And like what I've also looked for lately is no thumb screw, no thumb screw, no thumb screw, no thumb screw. So I don't know if there's a reason why they haven't been including that. I bought from different people, or if maybe they just had problems with it. I do know there was like a clip ring on the other end, on the other side, and that usually did not work. And part of that clip ring was designed to, you could loosen it and it'd still hold it in place. But yeah, it's kind of awkward. But so I've gotten just the 5 screws, and then it has nuts with it as well. So I'm gonna tighten this up a little bit. And one thing I'm gonna mention again here is you can see it's a little wobbly. It's a little whatever. But after you install it, it's actually rock tight. And with that, you can actually see, try to get this in the front camera, actually see all those grooves for like the bayonet lug and all that. So it's really, really nice, really solid. What I will mention too is, like, I got a MOE handguard on here from Magpul. These you're gonna have to take it off to install it. Your standard M4 handguard, you're not gonna have to do that. So just kind of a little bit of a forewarning there for anybody as well that's interested in getting into this. So, where did I put that? Sorry, just gonna. Don't you love when you have a million tools everywhere? Oh, there it is. Alright. Just gonna install this tool. Now a couple of these, actually I think all 4 but one, I already have the nuts are kind of in place because of the Durcoat. And just for the first part here, you're not going to tighten this on all the way. You're just going to get them all about maybe 3/4 of the way on. It's the best way to do a mount like this, because that way you're not over tightening it, you're not unevenly distributing pressure. Works out pretty well. Oh, actually, that's the one that's missing it. Sorry, guys. And again though, pretty simple pretty simple installation. So one thing I would not suggest though is Loctite. You know, normally I definitely all for Loctite, but in this scenario, again, you know, I guess it probably does not matter, because again, even with that thumb screw, I'd have all the screws as tight as could be, and this thumb screw, and you can kind of see how it bends in. I should have mentioned that before, but it's a little unshaved, so when you tighten it, it keeps on going inwards. That's part of how it kind of accepts it a little bit better. So if that kind of makes sense to people out there, you can kind of see how it's working. So it makes sense. But when you put this in there, this is kind of like the final touch. This is what's, even though obviously the mount is, you know, mounting it to the structure, this is kind of the final touch. So definitely do not Loctite this one, but you know, I guess if you really want to, you could Loctite the other ones. You'd probably be good. And as well, you know, when you're tightening these screws, don't tighten one all the way until it's, you know, just tighten them, you know, pretty much till they come down, and then once, you know, you can feel the pressures building up pretty good, you know, get the other ones on there, and then just kind of keep on repeating, and then when you're at that last rotation, they're not going to need a whole lot of pressure. That way, you're not going to really have to worry about stripping anything out. And you're good to go. Now, as you can see, pretty good. Really rock solid on there. You could try to rip the flashlight out. It does not want to come out, which is kind of the biggest appeal to me. Put this hand guard back in here, and I'll show you the other disadvantage I'm going to talk to you about. Whoops, try and install that wrong. Guys, I gotta take this off cam here to get this delta ring pulled back. Without that tool, you know, it's kind of a little bit on the harder side. So, alright. Now, the main disadvantage about this system, they did a pretty decent job at designing it, but okay. You gotta remember too, this is kind of designed for the standard M4 handguard. Standard M4 handguard doesn't ride as low, it rides just a little bit higher than this. But if you have a click button, you're good to go. For the standard, like Surefire and a lot of standard flashlights, unfortunately, you know, for tactical wise too, they don't come with that. They come with the turn knob. And I don't know if you guys can see the light, you know, barking up there. But for a push on, you know, and it's just going to stay lit, you're great, you're ready to go. But if you have to be shooting, I'm going to rearrange the camera here. If you're going to be, you know, but like now all of a sudden you need to turn the light, whether you just walked in somewhere, it's in a good place, because, you know, you're just moving your hand up a little bit and turning it, and then, you know, turn it back off if you don't need it. So, you know, it's not like you need it obviously all the way off. Now, something that a couple people I think initially thought of too, oh, well, how are you going to change the batteries? Because if you just keep on turning this off, you know, obviously it's not going to really come off. Alright, now the thing about that is, okay, you're out of batteries, you need to swap it out. It's going to take a little bit longer in a way, but you just front right here, and then, you know, batteries come right out, you're good to go. So it's a pretty sound system. Now the biggest perk about it, I'm gonna actually got a dark room here and probably gonna turn off the other light. Sorry guys, took a little bit there to get the threads back on right. But the biggest advantage is it's under the barrel. Now if you have this on a 10.5 inch like SBR, oh, you're doing amazing for lighting, because the main problem, I'm gonna actually turn this solid here, adjust the camera here. Okay, so the main problem when you got like side mount rails and whatnot is, granted, it's taking it off the rail and it's pushing it out. It is, you have all that barrel, you have the good, what, 7.5 inches or so of barrel, you know, the front sight post, you have all that stuff, and usually some of the rail, most people don't put it like all the way right up there, because it's a little bit too hard to, you know, whether you're left or right, ambi, whatever you were doing, it's too hard to get to it easily. Like on my SBR, I have it so it's right there, but I also only have a 7.5 inch barrel. So you're getting maximum, maximum light from, you know, your system that you can really do, again, without mounting it on the barrel and having that bullshit crap happen, you know, just moving around and flopping around. And kind of, I just show that, I'm going to turn off the light here, and it's going to be a little dark. Got this other turn light up here, but if anyone's really ever, you know, kind of took a look at that stuff, you know, I mean, look at that, look at the barrel, how you have, you know, it's not as bad in comparison to, again, if you've ever had it side mounted, and it's hard to explain, but if you go outside at night, you'll definitely be able to tell what I'm talking about. Your overall, I guess not the best way to explain it, but let's say if you just have a flashlight and you're just, you know, no abstractions at all in its way, you have 100%. Let's say when it's side rail mounted, under, you know, rail mounted, etc., you have maybe 35%, you know, obstruction. This limits it to maybe 5 to 10%. And it's from above, which, you know, still works out pretty well. So, other cool thing about it, Elzetta, they made a very nice, cool, neat features, is right here, they have it so you can have a rail that, actually, I believe I have that right over here too. Let me grab that. Sorry guys, again, this video wasn't the best planned out. Just kind of did it spare the moment. Oh yeah, I should shoot this while I'm, you know, installing it and whatnot. So I decided not to go with one of these, but it's yeah, I believe they don't actually have Elzetta on it, but they sell it under their name. It comes in their packaging. But this rail just goes right there, and it's actually like a 1-to-1 fit. You know, it's kind of a little weird, but it's a 1-to-1 fit, because with some longer screws, and that allows you to mount like a laser or a light. You know, like, why would you want two lights? This is beyond me. But if you want a laser and then a light, vice versa, obviously, you have that option as well. Because some people do like the under the barrel laser. Again, this is a laser or light, so mount. But they come with that cool feature, and those run like $7. Oh, by the way, the mount itself runs around $20 at the cheapest as I've really seen it. I actually picked this one up for $18, so, but it's about the price you're spending on it. Now, you know, neat little accessory, coolness, and then, you know, what I actually ran on one of my other ones, not this one, but I dremelled a little hole out on the MOE guard, had that laser with the pressure switch running right here through it, you know, had a little bit of tape stuff, it's like a double-sided, whatever it is, so it's stuck, you know. But it's a nice pressure switch, very smooth, very plausible for laser switch as well. So it worked out good. It was very neat. Eventually, I just got rid of that setup. And on this one, you know, this is a very lightweight rifle is what I went for. Now, a cool feature that they're going for, but it's very expensive, is it's like a quick detach sling swivel, and I'm not sure how it's mounted. Haven't picked one up. Don't think I will. It's like 35, 40 bucks. But it mounts right here, and it comes with like a quick detach sling swivel. Now, kind of with that, I didn't mention it earlier because I wanted to do it here. But as you can see, well, I should have mentioned it right before, but like right in there, that's where your sling swivel. Oh God, that thing. I don't know where. I had it right over there earlier. Your sling swivel. If you don't take that off, you actually will have a little bit of a problem with, you know, maneuvering this on and off because it's kind of right there in your way. You don't need to, but it definitely helps out quite a bit. But, you know, with that, because there's no way you're going to really be able to run it like a full sling on here as easy if you know, comparison-wise, it's going to be very hard to do it with this mount on here. So they kind of offer that now to, you know, have that. It's a single point sling, but you'd be running a rifle sling on it, obviously. But they kind of give you that option with it, which is kind of nice. So that's the only real accessories that I know of. Pretty cool little mount. Makes the overallness of the gun kind of cool. So, you know, and again, it's as simple as, and you're good to go for light. So, and the thing is, it keeps it right under, you know, right on. So, you know, and it again, it's point of aim. It's very nice. It doesn't really go off base at all. It's rock solid, which is important. And, you know, it's just a cool addition to your rifle as well. So, hopefully, that's enlightening anybody that's interested in an Elzetta mount. But, you know, pretty cool little thing. Not needed. But you're going to be spending probably 20, 30 bucks on a mount anyways for your flashlight. And again, this is if you buy a high-powered flashlight. If you're going to buy some $10, you know, weird flashlight, don't even bother. But, you know, if you're going to buy a $40 Surefire, that's kind of like, I look at it as an entry basis. With the G2s, they're not bad. They're like 40 lumens. They got quite a variety of them. They got like the G2 Nitrolian ones, which you can get for like 80 lumens and 120 lumens, and they could go up and up. And it's just different heads and different bulbs. You know, go with something like 120 lumens. I mean, you want something that's going to shoot out a lot of light, and that's possibly going to be able to blind at your target, you know. Or if you're using it because you want to go coyote hunting, something that's going to light up the area. But again, with any flashlight or laser, you know, you want it to do its job. So, anyways, going to leave the vehicle, you know, going for that. But, not going to keep on going on and on here. But, anyways, take care. Feel free to subscribe if you like this, you know. For dirt coating, feel free to check out my other videos. Tiger stripe, pretty cool, so take care.